All right, members, welcome to our third. Is it our fourth? I'm not sure, but I think it's our fourth session. Yeah, we had 2 sessions the other time. Today I've had one, so this should be the fourth session of learning mobile application development using Flutter. So today we're going to resume from how we stopped at in the previous lecture, and today we're going to look at states. All right. So I've been using stateless widgets. Right now we're going to look at stateful widgets. Okay, so I would like you to be very attentive because this is very important moving forward. So stateful, it enables us to update the state. For example, if we don't need to change anything in the application when it is running, we use stateless widget. It means that it does not have a state. But if we want to change something in the application when it is running, we use what we call a stateful widget. Stateful widget means that we can change something during the application run time. So it has a state, something can change. So I'm going to show you how this is very important and how we can use it. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to create another screen that I can call stateful widget, or I can say maybe state management. So I just come here and say create new file and then call it state management screen or page, state management page. Say .dat. Now, if you still remember, when we are creating the other screens, we are doing what we call stateless. Sorry. So for this screen, we're going to do what we call stateful widget. So you just play st full like this, st full, and then press enter and then press there, or right there the name of the screen, how you want to call it. Go ahead and click on this state and then import the material package. Now let's examine what we have here. We have two sections, or we have two main classes here. We have the stateful widget class. I mean, we have our page extending the stateful widget class, and we have another page that is extending the state class. Now, and this state class is taking our page as a what? The stateful page as a what? As a parameter. Okay. So that is how a stateful widget is organized. It always have two sections. So all our content that we shall be doing, it will be within the state, inside the state here. So everything that will be changing will be updating this main page, or the main state widget, so that the information that is being used when the application is running, it can change and cannot mess up the entire screen. And this is how a Flutter's stateful widget must be organized. It must not be like you having the same exact name, what and what, but has to follow those procedures that I've told you. That you can see here. So here we're overriding the state, and it creates, and then it creates this page that we have just created here down, the instance of this page that we've just created down here, the instance of the object of the class that we're creating down here, which you call the state. So here it is a stateful, and it is having what we call a state, which is a class on its own. Now inside the class state, we override again a build that receives a context, and then inside that we can return, inside the build we can return the what? We can return the widgets that we want to show on the screen. So it means that most of our business will be done in this in this state class, because it's the one that we have things that we want to interact with that are showing on the screen. So everything that we shall be doing will be starting from here, but it will be done within this class. So every time the application builds, it starts from top here, on top here, and then it builds this whole widget that you're seeing here. All right, so with that much said, I'm going to link link this item with our main menu so you can be able to navigate to it. So what I'll do, I'll just simply come and copy this state management page, this class, the name of this class, and then I go back to our home page. And then when I'm on the home page, I'm going to put here, I'm going to duplicate this and call it state management. I don't know which icon we shall give for state management. Is that one called manage accounts. And then we come here and change this one from rows to state management. So you should be very attentive. Sorry, you should be very attentive because these things are very important. So I save. Now you can see this is now clickable. If I click on it, it can take us to this stateful widget, but it has nothing in it. So let me go to this state management screen, and what I want to return here, I need to return I need to return column. All right. Yep. Sorry, I need to return a state. I need to return a scaffold. And this one will have a what? It will have a body. And this body will take, for example, just simply center like that. Let's go ahead and pass here the up bar. And this up bar, it can be just simply say state management, right? I'll remove this constant so it can stop giving me the warning. So as simple as that, right? Now, I'm going to create a counter. So as I said, the main important part here is to show that we can change something when the screen is running. All right, the state can change. For example, if I want to do a calculator, how can I do it if I want to show that the state can be able to do what? To change. So, can go ahead and create here, for example, an integer. So I come here on top of the override. I create an integer and call it counter and make it 0. And then I'm going to create a function that's going to help us to increase this counter, right? So I can call this function my increment, and then we shall see how we shall implement this. And then you can call another one my decrement, and we shall also see how we can implement this. So I want when I'll be calling this function, should be increasing this by 1. When I'll be calling this function, it will be reducing this by 1. So as we are seeing the things appearing on the on the screen. So let's do that. Now I'll come here to center and put there maybe a column. All right, and I can remove this maybe center. Just remove it, and then here I just simply go ahead and say maybe items should be centered. So cross alignment, I put center. Main alignment, I put center. So everything will be centered, something like that. And then I can say maybe wrap. Is it max size? I can say max, so it can be actually spending the maximum size. That's what you can. That's what you can achieve maybe. Or I can just simply pass this one with what? With list. All right, list. I think list do not work. All right, let's leave it there. I don't know, I wanted to make these things kind of centered. When I make it centered, I can just simply come and surround this one with what? With center. I think it will be centered. This one here. All right, so now I hope we are still together at that level. These are just widgets, nothing else. Now I want to put here the counter itself. I can say maybe the count is. Now if you want to put something to be substituted in your user interface, you just simply put $sign and then put the variable. If it is a variable that's being driven from an object which has something like a dot, you just simply surround it with what? With the $sign and then curly brackets and then put the variable itself. So that's how you reference an item. So let me put here a comma so this can be broken down. All right, it cannot. All right, okay, that's okay. Now below this center, I want to put maybe a button to increase button that increase the counter. So I can just simply say elevated button and then I put I think I'd not told you about elevated button. All right, so let me just explain this elevated button. So elevated button is our normal button, the one that you know, all right? So if you put elevated button, it has what we call on press listener, all right? Just say elevated button and then you pass on press listener. And then this elevated button always take a child, which can be a text, for example, as you can see it there. So this on press listener, I want to be calling what? My increment. So I can just simply say my increment, all right? So it means that when someone presses this one, it will be increasing. I can make it maybe a plus, something like that. I can style it. If you want, you can style it if you want to, something like that. Let me see if I can style it. Okay, so can I change its background? So that's our simple button. Let me explain here. It's just an elevated button. It has on press listener. If I press this one, it will call this function that we created here that we called my increment. And then it has a child, and this child is just simply a text, all right, that has a plus inside it. And this text has style, which is a text style, and it has white. And then this button has a background of green. Yeah, so I hope you can see that. So I can maybe put this our counter in the middle. Yeah, let me put it down here, something like that. I can go ahead and increase our counter size. Let me remove this word the counter is. So I can go ahead and increase the counter size and make it really big. You see that really big. All right, so I go ahead and put there now the decrement button. All right, so I go ahead and put elevated what and call the decrement. Yep, it's going to be like the one on top, but this one is for decreasing. Good. So we have something beautiful like that. However, you can pause the video and watch very carefully. It's just self-explanatory. Floating button being under the what? Under the centered text widget, and it has a function called my decrement, and this function, it has a red color. It's a button that has been styled with red color background, and then it has a minus in it. I can go ahead and do it and press on it here. So when I press on it, if I press this one, it is calling what? It is calling the my increment function. If I press this one, it is calling my decrement function, right? Calls my decrement function. So now I need to now do some logic that If I press this one, I want it to increase this guy. If I press this one, I want it to increase this guy. So how shall we do that? We shall now come to our functions and start putting there the logic. All right. So if I want to increase this one, I just simply say plus plus, right? Just simply say plus plus, and I can go ahead and put these things in what? In the console. Let me just simply say print, and then I go ahead and put this in the console. Print, and then I put that in the console. And then this one I can just say minus minus, and then I go ahead and put in the console minus minus, like this. All right. So plus plus, of course, you increase this one by 1. If you don't know plus plus, you can just say this equals that item plus 1, like that. All right. It is the same as plus plus. All right. Let me comment it. And this one is same as this equals to the other item minus 1. All right, minus 1. So it's the same thing as minus minus. All right, so I want, when I click, you'll be seeing these things in a console right here. So if I go ahead and click on a plus, can you see that it is now a 1? It is now a 2. Click here, it is now a 3. If I click here, you see it is now a 2, right? But it is strange that we cannot see these changes appearing on the what? On the screen. I repeat, we cannot see these changes appearing on the screen. So why? I will not seeing these changes appearing on the screen. Is there anyone with the answer? Yet the thing has actually changed. Anyone with the answer?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, sir. Tell us.
Yeah, when initially you declared somewhere, you removed the function setState. That is the function that informs should we say informs the Flutter framework that state has changed, and therefore you set it in a particular widget. Yeah.
So, okay. Thank you. So I think you're close to the answer. So we have to do some kind of setState. So where should you put this word setState so it can be in sync with that we have in the screen? Do you have any idea where we can put the word setState?
Yeah, first try to scroll a bit.
Okay.
Hold on. Am I not seeing clearly? On pressed. In on pressed there. Is it?
On what? On pressed?
Yeah. In on pressed there, inside that function there. Then we put the setState, and then we pass into it my increment. Okay, that's all I can try.
Okay, it's a good try. Thank you. Anyone with an idea?
So okay, may I think the setState is supposed to be, I think in that function of increment, where you have that logic of count plus plus, you're supposed to put that in the state, I think.
Okay. Yeah. I'm very happy you people you are following, and I'm very happy you people at least you have some idea. Okay, that's good. Yeah. You're both correct. So what should I say? Yeah, you're both correct. In fact, if you see where we're calling this function, so if it's not going to have a delay, we can put setState here, setState, and it will update immediately after it finishes increasing, and then it updates. But it means that every time we call this function, you have to do what? To put that setState. So about how we just put the setState within the function. After increasing, we just update the state, so we can write it once. So the second person was much more correct. Both of you are correct, but the second person was much more correct because we write it only one time. So that this function, as soon as we decrease or increase, it will automatically do what? Go ahead and do what? Update the state. So I thank you so much, members, for your contributions. Yeah, so I have to put a setState here. setState. So for those members who don't know what's meant by setState, it means that, okay, it has increased, now update the what? The screen. So it informs the Flutter framework to, or the code to update what the user is seeing. So if you have a variable that has changed, setState will go ahead and update the screen. So if you forget to put setState, what happens is it will not update the screen, yet the information will be changing in the background. So I can put the setState here, and then this is how you write the setState. Just simply say setState and then open bracket and then put open curl bracket inside, normal bracket, and then put the curl bracket next to it. And then some people put this, if it's a small logic, you just put it inside the setState. Others you can put on top and then you put the setState below it. All of them, they are the same. So you see, it has reduced, it has changed. So it means that if I click on, if I call this increase function, it will go ahead and increase it by 1 and then update the state. So you see, I just simply click here, it is going to 5. I click here, it is going to negatives. I hope you can see that. Yeah, so members, I hope you've understood that. I hope you've understood that. If you did not understand, just simply raise your hand or raise your hand, and then I'll explain more. But this is very important because it is the heart of Flutter. Without this, then we cannot be able to increase this. To manage the states, the data in the app, because the data in the app must be changing, or it always change. All right. It always do change. Okay, take it. Okay, members. So you see, I'm pressing this button as it is reducing in negative side. I press this button as it is increasing in the what? In the positive side. I hope you can see that, and I hope you understand it. All right, so let's proceed to see now how can we. So we are learning. That's how we learn, by the way. So we are learning. Once we put all these things together, you'll see that you can build something that is actually amazing. Now we're going to do what? We're going to look what we look at what we call package. We look at what we call packages, right? And what are the advantages of packages? And we're going to look at our very first package. And then after our introduction to packages, we shall see if time will be enough, and then we look at dynamic list. Can we be able to create something that is dynamic and we add it in a list, something like that, right? Okay, so packages in Flutter, they help us to do things with simplicity. So developers who like to volunteer, they always create packages and they give different solutions to simplify Flutter with much more simplicity than suffering, right? So Flutter packages, you can find them here. Just simply go to your browser and search for what you call Flutter packages, right? I'll just come and say Flutter packages. So if you search for Flutter packages, you'll see here pub.dev. Pub.dev is a website where you can find a list of all Flutter packages. Official platform where they provide Flutter packages that are actually genuine, that have been tested, and people are commenting. Like the community of packages is here. So you can see, for example, here the favorite packages for Flutter, or what people are using most. You have Firebase messaging, we have Provider, we have Chopper, we have Chopper is HTTP, we have built-in value generator. We have another one that are trending, such as native synchronization, and we have other popular one, not top ones, such as Riverpod, Flutterist build, last bridge, and then we have deal, yeah, and HTTP parser and quick action. So these are packages. You can view all of them. You can view the top one, so you can explore here different packages. Okay, so these packages can help us to do works with simplicity. We're going to look at one package, for example, today. It's a form package. Flutter forms, they are actually kind of tricky. They disturb, all right? But there is a package, like they are bulk. To do something little, you have to write a lot of things, right? But there is a package called form builder. Form builder. It's a Flutter package called form builder. So this form builder, if you search for it, form builder Flutter package, you'll be able to see it here. So this form builder, it gives you a lot of things, and you can build forms with simplicity. So for us to get introduced to packages, we're going to see how we can use this form builder, right? So how do you add packages in your application? So search for the package that you want. For example, I've said form builder, and then come here and click on this package name and the version. Or you can just simply come here on installing, and you see the steps of installing it. I can either copy this package and the version, and then come to what? And then come to my pubspec.yaml file, this one here, and then I go where there is dependencies here, and then I make sure that I click exactly here, so it can be in the same line with this. For example, let's say come here under cappuccino icons, and then put your package, this thing that you copied here, this one exactly here. Or you can as well come here to versions and select the version that you're interested in, all right, and then click on it, and then go ahead and copy what you want. Okay. So I copy this, and then I come and put it here. So that's how you add packages. Another way to add packages, you just simply come here to installing, and then get this command on top here, this one here, and then go to your folder, and then go to your terminal. For example, my terminal is here. Go to your terminal. Go to your terminal here, and then go ahead and run the command. So that is also another way. So it will give you the same results. So if you do it this way of putting it in a YAML file, you just simply go ahead and click on pubget. So when you click on pubget, you should be connected on internet. What are they saying? That they say this needs a higher SDK. So I can change the version, or I can just simply use the terminal, so it can get for me the right version that can work with my my project. So I just simply go ahead and say Flutter pub add, then I put the package name and then press enter. So if I use the terminal, it will get for me the right package that can work with my the right version that can work with my app. You see, so it's the most latest version that can work with my update, with my application version, which is 10.1.0. So if you want to see all the versions, you can just come here. So I'm using this version. Otherwise, this one is using like the most latest SDK, right? So that's how you solve a problem. Just simply come and get the installing, and then get this command, and then go ahead and run it in your folder. In your just click on terminal, click on the folder, and then run it there. If you're using Visual Studio Code, it is just almost the same thing. You just go to the terminal, go to the folder of the project, and then run it there, and then it will go ahead and add it in the YAML file. So, and that is the most safest way to use the terminal because it determines for you the version that will work with your project. All right, so we now have our form package added to our Flutter project. So it means that we can go ahead and do what, and deal with the form input fields. All right. So I'm going to create a special screen that you're going to use to play with the form input fields, different ones. So I'll just simply come here and say right click and say new, and then simply go ahead and say file. I'll go ahead and call it form page dot, and then go ahead and call this stateful. I'm going to make it stateful, and then I go ahead and do it and import the material Flutter package, and then I go ahead and add it in my main menu. All right. So if I can come back here, you see, so we have a section that can take us to the form. If I click here, I have our empty form here. All right, so let me go to the form package here. I mean form page, and then I go ahead and put here scaffold and put a up bar. All right. All right, so now there we go. What is warning here? Unexpected. All right, so that should be fine. All right, so now we have that. We have our form there. I mean our form screen. Okay. Now we're going to use it to demonstrate form items. If time will allow us, we shall go ahead and demonstrate the dynamic list, so we can just simply the list where we can simply add dynamic items there. All right, so let's come to the documentation. So when you're using a package, you have to read its documentation, of course, so you can know how it is used. So I'm going to here you see here we have different types of list items. For me, I'm going to so they tell you how you use the form. So you can have what you call a key. So this key will help you to control the form. So let's go ahead and create that key. So you come here on the top of your state and create here a key. So you just simply say final underscore form key. You can call it, you can name it any way that you want, and then say global key, and then you go ahead and put and make it receive a form builder state. If it's giving you a warning like this, just press Alt and Enter and then import that. So you now have our key there. So after doing that, then your form has to be surrounded with form builder, right? All right, form builder. So I can just simply come here. You see, this is just a padding, and this padding has a child, right? So it has a child, and this child is going to be our format, our form builder. So this form builder has to take what you call a key, right? This key. So this key, I've already defined it here. So you can just simply pass it there, and it has to take a child, all right? A child. So we can go ahead and pass here a child. So this child, since we're going to have main item, we can just simply go ahead and say single scroll view, and then we go ahead and pass here a child of a what? Of a column, so you can demonstrate different items in there. So if I save, that's what we shall have. We have not put there any item. So that's how we can structure our what? Our form. Now, we want to put there our text input field. Let me go ahead and put here, search for text input field. So this is how you call the text input field. So you just simply say form builder, and then you put the name that you want. So you have, if you want to see all of them that are available, if you want to see all of that are available, you can just simply come here the documentation. You'll see there are calendar pickers, drop down, there is sliders, all of them, most of them are here. All right. So if I want text, I can just simply say, so I've put here children. I go ahead and put form builder text field. So it must take a property called name, right? Must take a property called name for it to be able to work, right? So otherwise, if you don't pass a name, then it will not work. All right. So I just simply go ahead and say name, and then I can put the input decoration. Just say decoration, then say input decoration, and put label text, and then say name. So it has here different border style that you can pass. So by doing like that, we can have our simple input like that. Thank you. So that is how we manage our form, right? How we get started with our form, not like complete story, but that's how we get started with our form. So this input, you can design it in so many ways. For example, if I don't want to see any border, there are all that way that you can remove the borders. Yeah, so let's focus on main functionality. So that is how you design a form. For example, if I want to collect the first name, last name, I just simply do like that. So now this form has we have ways how we can collect data from the form. The first way is by doing what? By using when we submit, like when we, sorry, the first way is by using the onChange listener. That when something changes in the form, we go ahead and collect it. All right. So let's say that I have here a variable of a name. So it's going to be string and call it name variable like this. I can go ahead and put here a parameter called onChange listener. So I just will put onChange, right? So onChange, this, it will be a listener. It will receive a value, or it will receive a value in it, and then this value you can change it to what you want. So for example, now I can say if this value is not null, it should be the value itself, right? Okay, so I can just simply say value equals to, and name equals to value dot to string, since the other name is a string, something like that. So by doing so, it means that every time that this input changes, this our name will be what will be updated. So if I want maybe to also change as I want to see why it is being changed, I can set state so it can update the all appearance. So I can just, for example, here I come and put what you call size the box. Size boxes help us to space things, right? You can space it in a vertical way or horizontal way. I can just place size box height. I can say maybe 20, and then come here and put text, and then I can go ahead and put here I can say maybe hello name. All right. So I can be able to see things on fly. So hello, right now there is nothing in the name. So, but you can see here the procedure is that every time something changes, the name will be updated and the state will be updated. And then it means that everything that has subscribed to that name will automatically do what? It will automatically reflect in the screen. All right, so we can see here we have hello, nothing, right? So according to the logic that we have done, so let me come here and try to change hello. You see, when I write John, automatically it is saying hello John. So I put here hello. See, hello Hamza, hello Muhindo, hello John. See, hello Joan. So it's automatically updating, right? It's automatically updating. So you can as well collect data from the form using that way. That when something changes, you automatically collect it. That is one way. Another way, you can collect it using the form key. That when you update, you have what you call form values. You can validate. You can do all those things using the form. So you can come here and explore all those things from here by your own self. How do you validate? There's another package of validation. So this package mainly comes with two packages. One is the form itself. Another is the validator that you can use for validation. All right. So you come and read all these. I'm not going to spoon feed you. So in your free time, come and explore all these features that are there for the form input. All right. Come and explore them. Come and explore them. We have the switch. We have a text field that we have looked at. We have range slider. We have the calendar. We have the drop down. We have the chips. We have the date pickers. All of them, they're here. So I give you a task. Come and test each and everything here that is in the form builder, so you can think how you can use them in your projects. But basically, that is how we do what? That is how we do collect data from the forms. All right. So that is how we collect data from the form. I don't know whether, let me see here if we still have time, and see if we can handle the dynamic list. I think we still have time. All right, let's handle the dynamic list and then call it a day. Now, with that much said, now how can we handle the dynamic list automatically? Like how can I make a dynamic list, add items there and remove them there? Now, I'm going to show you something. So I want you to be very attentive. So you have gotten basics of the form. You can look at the code. It's very simple. Just less than 50 lines of code. You are able to achieve all that, right? Yeah. So if you put your heart there and give your attention, your full attention to these things, you have to understand them. They are not magic. Trust me. They are understandable. All what you need is just a passion and give them attention. All right, so let's proceed. We're going to do something else. I've shown you how you add packages in your project, and I've shown you how you get started with a form. With a form or with the data collection input. Now we're going to create a list, right? A dynamic list. So I'm going to come here and just simply come and say new file and call it dynamic list.dart, and then I go ahead and call this one stateful and call this one dynamic list and go ahead and import that material. There we go. And then I'm going to make sure that I link this one with our main page. Dynamic lists. All right. Okay, so now I can just simply click on this, and then we have our input there. All right, so I'll just simply go to a dynamic list, and then I click on dynamic list here. All right. So let's get started. So I'm going to put here our scaffold. And then I put here a dynamic list in center, right? Okay. So I'm going to begin by just simply creating a list of array. I mean a list of string. So I can just simply say a list of countries. So just simply say list and then open the square brackets and then put the data type that you want to have in that list, which is string, and then put the name of the list. And then if you want, you can initiate it like this. Okay. So these people are suggesting countries, but I'm not seeing any Ugandan and African countries there. Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania. All right, and Burundi. Those are enough. Maybe that's put for me, South African. All right, those are enough, my friend. Okay, so yep. So that's our list of countries. Now I'm going to put here the list builder. So just simply say list view builder. Let me explain this. I see it as suggested code, but I want to explain it very carefully. You guys, I don't want you to get lost. All right. Let me explain this very, very carefully. So we have here the body. It has list view dot builder. List view, it's a list view, the other list view that we talked about. You still remember it. Then we have builder, right? So builder, the builder, it helps us to dynamically build the list, right? There, remember the other one was just taking children and we just put there everything that we want. Until static, we have no way can change that data. But for this one, it has a builder, and this builder, it has what we call item count. This item count, it takes the total number of items there. And then we have item builder. So the item builder, it has bracket. It receives two things: the context and the index. Or it supplies you with two things: the context and index. And you open curly brackets here like this, and then you return to it what you want to see. You can, for example, return the text. You can return whatever you want. So for us here, we're returning the list style. We have already looked at the list the list style. All right. So here, return the list style. So the leading is just an avatar, and it has a text, and it's taking the first item. All right. Let me remove the avatar so you can keep it simple. So it has the text, and then string, and then the countries, and then we pass the index. So it gives the index. The index is the position of the item that we're seeing here. All right, so I can just simply say maybe the leading should be even maybe the index itself, something like that. All right, the list number. So the index is just simply the number. It starts from 0. I can just simply come here and say the index is countries. Sorry, I just simply say index dot to string dot to string. Right, so I can just simply have 0, 1, 2, 3, something like that. So if I want to present in a human way that they can understand, because humans don't start from 0, I can just simply go ahead and add 1. So it can be here 1, 2, 3, something like that. You see? And so there we go. There we go. That's our list. That is our list. Hope you can see it. Come here and open. You can see our list there of 15 countries. So here the most important part here that we have is the index here. All right. So this index can enable us to do what? To position or to collect a specific item from the list. Okay, so now when I click here, I just show a snack bar and show you what you've clicked on. On top here, I see what you call scaffold manager and then .of, and then put content. Let's say show snack bar, and then I put snack bar and I put the counter that you've clicked on. You see, I've clicked on this, something like that. So I can remove even this click listener. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put the delete button, right? So I can do the trailing. I can put the trailing and put the delete button. So I can put here. I go to our list style. We have the leading. I still remember trailing is what will appear at the end. So trailing, we already have it here. I can go ahead and put here delete. And put here delete button. Okay, so the trailing, I want it to be delete button. So you just say trailing and then you say icon button. So icon button is a button that can accept an icon to be its child, right? So I pass here the icon and then put the icon to delete and then the color, make it red. So since it's a button, it can be pressed, right? And then I want here when someone presses it, it should remove at this and update state. Let me just comment this first. And I save. So you see that we have this kind of what? This kind of an item. So when I click here, you see, it is showing that as I've clicked on it, but nothing is happening. So what I want to do, I want when someone clicks on the delete, you should go to countries, which is this one, and then say remove at, and I pass the index. So if it is 0, it will say remove at 0. If it is 1, it will say remove at 1. And then after I update the state. So I mean that I'm removing something from the list and I update the state. I hope you're seeing that. Okay, so if I save, I can go ahead and remove Uganda. You see, they are going away. The countries, the data is removing. It removes it and then it goes away. All right, so it is now empty. Right, it is now empty. So now I want to show, before I proceed, I want to show you the conditional designing. What if I want to show that the list is empty when the user starts? All right, so how do you do that? So in Flutter, you have a way how you can hide something, or you can show something with what? With condition. Members, I hope you're following. I hope you're still listening in. Members, are you following?
Yes.
Okay. So I want like if the countries are empty, the system should show countries empty, empty, something like that. So I can do like that by showing. So I can just come here. Let's say I'm here on the body. Okay, I'm at the body. I can just come here and say list dot countries dot is empty, and I put a question mark. So if you do like this, you put here what you want to be shown when it is true, and then behind I put a question mark. You see, country dot empty. So in here, I put what I want to be shown, or what I want to be displayed in case this condition is true. And then behind this, the colon, these colons here, which is the list things. I put what I want to show, when it is not true, right? So when it is empty, I can just simply say it should show text like no countries, all right? And then you see no countries available, and I make it font size like this. I can make it, for example, centered, so it can be really centered, something like that. You see, no countries available. And then on the other side of the colon, I put in case the countries are there. All right. So that is how you do that. So if I come back here, I click on this. So since it is initiating them, it is starting with the countries already in the list. So it shows them here. So if I go ahead and remove all of them, of which I've shown you how you can remove, you see there's no more countries. So now this is true, like countries are not there. It goes ahead and show the first section that the countries are not there. So that's how you can conditionally change your display dynamically. So I want us to learn how I can add a country and then we call it a day. So I'm going to surround this, hold this in, I'm going to show you how I can add two things in the same page. So I'm going to collapse this guy and collapse this guy. You see all of them. And then I'm going to mark all of them. I'm going to press, you see I've selected all of them, right? I'm going to press Alt and Enter. Sorry, Alt and Enter. Alt and space, sorry. Hit Control space. I've not selected all of them. Let me select all of them. Did I break things? Alright, let me select all of them. Control space. What am I doing? Alt and space. Yeah. Can I surround them with something? No. Okay. Yep. Okay, let me. So I've selected here beginning from the word country. So I want to put all of these one. I can cut them anyway. Let me cut them. I want to put all of them in a what? In a column. So I've cut the other things. So I can put here column. All right. Remember those things are still in my clipboard. And then I go and put here child. And then I put here expanded. Expanded help us to contain the list itself. And then inside this child, I go ahead and paste the other content here. So it means that I can have the other content as expanded in the bottom of the column, and they have another item in the top of the column. All right. So I want to put my, I hope you can pause the video and see. So the other thing that we've just done, I've just put them in the expanded, and then I put in this column here. So I want to put our form in here. So I can just simply come here and copy this input field. Let me copy it here. I copy it. We've already done it. I just copy it and paste it here. All right. It's just nothing but an input field, right? Press Alt and Enter, and then I go ahead and create a variable here and say maybe country name, and then I make it empty there, and then I come and put this one country name here, like as an input here field here, and then I remove this guy. We don't need it. So what I've done is just an input field here, and it is receiving a what? A country name. All right. I hope members that's understandable. I hope it's not confusing. Can surround with what? With some padding. So you can see we have an input there. Let me put here some size, the height. Yep. So on top you have just an input. I've shown you how you build an input. This is just an input that we've just shown you how to do. All right. And then here we have what? We have expanded and the list of items that we had, right? So I'm going to put here a button next to this input. I'm going to put a button that we shall be clicking on, and then it enables us to add a country on the list. Let me see if I can do that. So I'll just, you see this on change, already discussed it. Let me see if this form builder can enable us to do that. We can put what we call trailing. I don't know whether it accepts widget. Let me see. Let me see the different thing that accepts. I think they accept them here in decoration. Prefix, suffix, icon. I want to see if we can have this icon here. I want to see if it is clickable. Can you make it an icon button? I want to see if it will be clickable. All right, yeah, I think, yeah, it's clickable. All right, so let me explain. So our decoration, I have the label, we have the borders. I can as well remove this one if I don't want them. And then we have here our icon button, which is a suffix icon. As I said, you should go ahead and explore all the kind of inputs. I mean, all the kind of possibilities that this can do for you. You see, I can even be able to add there an icon at the end of the list within just the same user interface. You see, all those are possibilities, right? Right. So make this one check. You see, and I've made this one an icon button, so I can be able to do what, to click here, and then it will be able to add an item in a list. All right, so we're going to just make it simple. Now we cannot be able to control, like, for example, I want, okay, let's first see how we can add these items. Now I want, like, when someone clicks on this check button, you see this is just an input. We are just here. All right, so I wonder when someone clicks on the check button, you should do what? You should add that country, right, to the countries, right? So I'll just simply say if the countries, so you see when I click on this check, I check if the country is not empty or the country name is not empty. Remember, this country will be entered here. It is not empty, and I'll just simply say countries dot add. I put the name, and then I reset the name to be nothing. All right, and then I set state. So by doing like that, it will go ahead and update our list. You see, it will go ahead and update our list because I've added there the item. So let's go ahead and do that. So you see, add, you see, it is there. But right now, if I click, it is not adding because we have just reset this one to be empty. But you see, the challenge that we're having right now is that these words are not disappearing. I want, when I click on add, it should go ahead and clear this item. So we cannot manage to clear this if you don't have the what? The form key, right? We cannot manage to clear this if you don't have the form key. So that's why I need the form key. So remember this input, when we put it here, we don't surround it with the other form builder. All right, so that's why we're not able to do that to generate it. So let's go back to our form and be able to surround with the form builder. So I'll just simply come here to our form. Instead, maybe after padding, I go ahead and select this with a surround this with a form builder. Okay, surround the whole thing with a form builder. It is okay also. I can just simply come here and say maybe I surround this one with the whole thing with the form builder. It is also okay. It is also okay. You see, surround it with the form builder. And the most important part is that I have to put it what? I have to put here a key. All right. So, and we saw how we do a key. It has to be like this. So if you have the key, we can be able to reset a form field if we know its name. All right. So I can just simply go ahead here and use this to reset the form or to clear the form, something like that. So when I come here and do like this, when I click on add, it resets the form. You can even specifically clear the input field like this. So this is how you clear it. You just simply say form name dot current state and then say fields, and then you put the name that you want to field and then say dot reset or dot clear or dot remove anything or dot we have what we call patch. It can go ahead and clear that. Let me see if this one can do. So I just say clear the field called name. So if I do like this and then I add, you see it is clearing it. So you can either reset the whole form or you can do like this to clear it. So by doing like that, you can be able to do what? To reset the form. So let's now begin by having no country totally in our list. So our form list is totally empty, right? I save, I open, I save my project, I open dynamic list. So there's no countries there. So I can just simply go ahead. Okay, I want to add the first country. I can just simply go ahead and put Sudan and then say yes. You see, Sudan has been added, and our form has been reset. And then I can put also Somalia, and yeah, can go ahead and put I can go ahead and put Gambia like this. Can go ahead and put maybe Burundi. So when I say yes, it resets it, and we have our list dynamically. Once I have a dynamic list, means that we can do some things. So I can remove Somalia by just simply clicking on this. Tap, it is gone. I remove Burundi, it is gone. I go ahead and add Uganda. Uganda is added at the end of our list. So that one gives you a more understanding, a more control, a more, like, it gives you more things, a more grasp, more basics of understanding how to deal with what? With Flutter. Are we together, members? Yeah, so that's our dynamic list for you. If you check in the console, there's no error. Yeah, and that's a good beginning. So in the next lecture, we shall see now how can you save this dynamic list on the local database. How can you retrieve it from the local database? If you close the application, can you be able to retrieve it? If you close the application, can you be able to retrieve it? If you delete, can you be able to delete from that preserved local database? Can you convert this item to JSON? Can you get back from JSON? Can you create can you componentize, create components, widgets that can be reusable? All those things are ahead of us that we are going to look in the next lectures. Unless there's a question. This person also calling me so much. Hello? Okay, members, I'll receive your questions if you have some. Namembwa, you have not said anything. Say something. Any comments before we close the lecture? If she's there. Have you been following?
Yes, I have.
Okay. You have any question?
No, I do not.
So what
Just
level?
think.
Okay, what level of programming are you at this moment in terms of programming?
Like a percentage in Flutter. In Flutter, I'm on like 60%.
Okay. So the thing that we are discussing, you already have idea, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, that's very good. All right. Any comment, any final remarks, and we call it a day. Fahad, do you have something to say?
Absolutely, yes. So